Hey y'all. I know what you're thinking. Jamie, it's Friday. Friday is not your night. Well, the week was crazy and it kind of got away from me, and I haven't gotten any time to just hang out. And I came in from doing farm chores and I folded all the laundry, and I told Lester, I'm like, I feel like I didn't do my normal week. Like I was traveling for work, so I didn't get to do. And that started with home things. Like, for instance, I folded like 5 loads of laundry. I'm an everyday laundry kind of person, and it got backed up and it freaked me out. So I had to like clear that first to be able to come and hang out with y'all, which sounds really dumb, but I have to have clean spaces. If you saw my office right now, you would not believe that that's the truth, but my office is a whole different story. That's like my space. Like, I'm crafty and collectory and all the things that people have sent me are on these walls. So to some, it may look like the biggest clutter of all clutters, but to me, it's like a collection of all the things that I love. And just wanted to come hang out. Paula says, Jamie, are you okay? Are you all right? Yeah, I'm great. It's like, Lester did Timeout Tuesday this week, and it's Friday night. It's not even 7 o'clock yet. We went and ate a late lunch today, so we're not going out to dinner. I finished chores. It's dark. It's cold outside. Blankets are on horses. And instead of sitting down to just scroll on my phone mindlessly, I just kind of wanted to, hang out with y'all, if that's okay. There is no agenda. There's nothing special. I don't know. Maybe I just wanted to talk out loud, and Lester's talked out, and I don't know, hanging out with y'all on Friday night. So, because I missed Timeout Tuesday and I did not drink a single drop of alcohol on my trip or anything else, I was cleaning off the counters tonight and I ran across my salted caramel little delightful thing right here, and someone sent me a glass, which you can't see it. Can't see it. There's a girl and a horse on the glass, and I was like putting those away. I'm like, I kind of want to have a cocktail. I kind of want to do that. So tonight we're gonna cheers to Free for All Friday, because we have no agenda and no muscles to open this either. Holy moly! Grab a cocktail if you like, some hot chocolate, water, or don't. Just hang out. And again, there's no agenda. There's nothing special. I'm going to ramble on, and I wish you all could like ramble back with me. But cheers to Free for All Friday. Anyway. Oh, that's a good sipper. That will warm you up. If I had some coffee, if I didn't already dump this morning's coffee down the drain, that would make it 10 times better. So let's do talk, because I see a lot of things in the comments, and of course, there's a lot of things that I've wanted to like interject and be able to handle this week, but I'll be honest with you, my week has been packed to the gills. So a lot of people are talking about Roman today in Lester's Live had a runny nose. So I'll be honest with you, I too was concerned about that, but not today. Believe it or not, last week, Friday night, Friday night or Saturday night, the night that it got super cold out, the next morning, Roman had a runny nose, and I was panicking. It was in his right nostril only, and it was a little cloudy. It wasn't like super yellow. It wasn't super runny. It was just like a strand. I know that's really gross, and if you don't like talking about bodily fluids or animal bodily fluids, you can peace out for just about 5 minutes here. So last week already, I called Dr. Cochran and Courtney, right? My two closest horse people. And I was like, how worried should I be? Because obviously he traveled to get here. I know that shipping fever and all these things are possible. Respiratory things are possible. And both of their first questions to me were, Does he have a fever? No, no fever. Is he coughing? No, no coughing. Is he lethargic? I don't know. He's a giant horse who just like hangs out. They're like, is he on his feet? Yes. Is he walking? Yes. Will he come to you whenever you move places, or is he really struggling? No. Does it look like he's having a hard time breathing? Count his respirations. I did all of those things. He's eating, he's drinking, he's active, he's communicative, he's responsive, he has no fever, he has no cough, so he has a runny nose. So both of them immediately said, could be the cold weather or could be some allergies to something that's in that pasture. Okay, never thought of that. They're like, think about all of the allergens that are in hay and in alfalfa and other things that maybe he's not used to. And it could be as simple as even some of the like the perfumes and lotions that I wear that he could be doing. I was like, oh, okay. They're like, if he gets any of those other symptoms, then yes, we need to think about it. Okay, cool. The next day, it actually got really warm outside, and this whole week, everything's been fine. It got cold again last night. And lo and behold, here comes his runny nose again. All I can think about, this is what they also said. They're like, he could have some sort of respiratory thing, but just like humans, when you go out in the cold, your nose runs, like your sinuses and become hyperactive during those times. So don't overthink it, because what we don't want to do is give him antibiotics or steroids and disrupt his stomach or other things and cause more harm with those things. Their immune systems are meant to be able to fight the way that ours are too. You don't have to immediately give antibiotics. So that's fine. What I noticed today while Lester was doing that live, I was outside working with our horses here. 3 of our horses also had just a light little runny nose situation. Again, it got colder than what they're used to last night. So I'm just going to take it as it's okay and watch it. Tonight he didn't have one. We went out there to feed up tonight and to spend some time. So again, it could just be a fluke. And it wasn't like relentlessly running. It just was running. So if he has a touch of something, we're going to give his body and his immune system time to fight it. I am not the person who rushes to the vet or the doctor or as human, as a mom, as anything. Like, I like for your body to be able to fight that. So I'm not going to freak out, and I don't want you to either. So that's step 1. It's just Roman's nose, Roman the new draft, but everything else sounds good. And what Dr. Cochran told me, she's like, I can come out there and I can listen to his lungs. She goes, but we're probably not going to hear a lot, especially if it's the beginning stages. And if he doesn't have any other symptoms, she goes, I wouldn't stress about it, Jamie. Okay, cool. Moving on. Everybody else here the rest of the day. Now my nose is running thinking about it. Murphy's Law, I guess. Everybody else knows that was running this morning here is completely back to normal as well. It got up to be about 55 here today, and it was still pretty chilly with the wind and everything. So it'll be fine. It's gonna be fine. We'll watch closely and it'll be okay. Maybe build his stall and it'll be warmer. We are working on his stall. I knew that Lester wasn't going to be able to get stalls built before this weather that's coming right now and has been here for the last couple days. So I asked him to go get a load of hay, horse hay, to be able to stack up and build him at least a windbreak, because there's nothing out there. It's a big open field. And I think that Roman's really pleased with his Coliseum. It's beautiful. I got to see it in person today for the first time. It's high and dry. We put enough loads of dirt and sand in there that even though the pasture has some pretty mucky areas, Roman's able to stand in his barn and be out of all of that. So that is a win. And now that we have the hay that's out there for a break for him, I feel a lot better about that. I did buy him a blanket. Now, we did not get to do the things that I wanted to do with him. I wanted to take it out there and just touch him with it, let him smell it and see how he reacted to it. But if I'm being completely honest, the wind is really crazy this afternoon. And I was afraid that the wind whipping it was going to give him, if he'd never seen it or felt it, a very negative space around it. So I anticipate the wind will be better on Monday, and our next cold night is not until Wednesday. So I think I'll start on Monday with some easing into the blanket scenario. I just don't, he has a legit fear of some things that involve, he's a little spooky about things. I don't want the blanket to spook him. And I don't know that Roman technically needs a blanket, but I am someone who believes in that if we need it. So I wanted it to be able to be available to him. Roman is from a northern area, so he has more fur, and his breed has more fur or hair than the rest of our horses do anyway. So it is what it is. I was in Greenville, South Carolina for work this week, and it went by, it's weird to say, it went by fast, but it also took forever. And while I was there, Lester and the Morrow Hill guys hosted Timeout Tuesday on my behalf. And so we were at a work dinner, and here I am with colleagues, like not like a small dinner, like they rented a floor of a building and had it catered. It was like heavy appetizers type of, mingle thing, because a lot of the people that work for my company don't actually live in the same place. We all fly in, but we service hospitals all across the U.S., and we're all across the U.S. So when people are in town that don't normally come in town, they host a dinner like this to where it's standing, and there's a cocktail bar, but there's also like a giant charcuterie thing, and then there's desserts, and then there's like sliders, and they had a macaroni and cheese bar, that type of thing. So here I am, and my chief of HR, okay, that is head of HR on the executive level, follows our channels. And she comes up to me and goes, "Hey, did you know Lester's live?" Yeah, I know he's live. She's like, "Let's watch it." I'm like, She goes, "Oh, come on. I love Lester." And it was in that moment, that she pulls up her phone, and there's people gathering around the table, CEO, CFO, some people that from the office that I've never even met before, don't even know about a channel. We don't have to tell them. We don't have to tell them all the things about Jamie Walker. We don't. I can just fly under the radar. I don't have to be that person. Yeah. I was that person that night, because here is my lovely partner in life, my number one soul connection, who Cheryl, my chief HR person, is like, "I love Lester. He's the funniest ever, and the way he looks at you and what y'all did in San Antonio." She knows my whole life from the videos, okay? Here lies Lester as I open the video, sitting in front of the camera with his glasses on top of Spanx on his head. Not even nylons at that point in time. They're like control top Spanx that are on his face, okay? With glasses. And here's Uncle Dan in the background on his knees, like his feet no longer work, like he's got swimmers, whatever that is, like a dog, or like he's a seal, with what appears to be a blow up dingaling, fishing for cardboard circles onto the ground. And I can't. I just want to like sink below the table and like die. I just want to die. It was in that moment where I'm like, how can I get out of this scenario right now? Because at this point, everyone's laughing. Even the people that don't even know who I am or that I'm affiliated with this think this is the greatest show that they've ever watched. And what a great thing to bring to company happy hour. I'm Jamie Walker, and he's with me. And then it gets better. It gets so much better, because as he is progressing through this, he then takes his Spanx from one side and opens up the other half to put on Uncle Dan's head, where two bald-headed men are sweating profusely in a pair of Spanx over their faces as they put tails on and try to act like a three-legged race of some sorts, except for they have blow-up tails on that are fishing and dropping things. And it is the most I wanted to spill my cocktail. I wanted to throw up. I wanted to do anything to make that, like, stop. But it didn't. It was all... And then the people who know about this side of my life are telling other people, oh yeah, this is Jamie and her husband. They make videos of their farm. And here I am. There's no farm on Timeout Tuesday. No. The only animals are two-legged ones that are pretty much just out of control at that point in time. Now, I also was laughing, okay? Because I can laugh at myself, and I can certainly laugh at Lester, and I'm dying, and I'm mortified at the same time. I'm grateful that the people I work with have a great sense of humor and can separate, like, this part of my life from my professional life, and that they don't usually cross streams too much. But I could not wait for an ad to come up, and all I kept praying for was that the phone holder did not pay for premium, and that an ad could come up and save us all, and we could all just take a breath and walk away. It was like 7 minutes in before that happened. And I went, and as I mentioned, I didn't drink a drop of alcohol this time at any work function at all. And it was simply just because I had to walk back from where that was to the hotel, and knew that it was cold, and I wasn't feeling it because there's no bathrooms on the way. I could have taken an Uber, yes, but anyway, I lived, and I still have a job, I guess. But holy moly. First of all, I'll admit, I bought the game. Okay? I bought the game. He was never going to be that dirty. He was never going to be that dirty. That was supposed to be something that Lester and I played, and I was going to challenge him to, of using the tail to pick up those little hoopy doodle thingies. Who knew that they could make it so dirty? So dirty. And I don't even know that they knew that they were making it that dirty. They're just that, like, that's their natural, like, Morrow instincts that kicked in, I guess. And I did laugh. And I watched it again after I got back to my hotel room, and I laughed hysterically even then. And I called Lester as he was driving home. He's like, I don't have service, but I hope we did you proud. Oh, he did me proud. Yeah. He's with me. Oh, if you can't laugh, you'll cry. And if you can't find a sense of humor in things, while that was my channel, it says nothing about my job or my ability to do my job. And I've worked there long enough for people to know that that is very separate from both sides. It was a good time. And I am grateful that I work with people who are very real, even the leaders, to be able to find humor in those things as well. And I'm grateful for the Lester and Dan and Jake and Buddy who are willing to do dumb stuff, because it was up there. That's what I'll say. So it's good stuff. So I got home late Wednesday night, and then have been in catch-up mode ever since. I feel like I'm trying to catch up on real life, but then I wanted to do this so bad, and I finally told Lester, I'm like, I'm folding laundry, and then I'm coming in here. He's gonna play Xbox and do his thing anyway, or maybe he might actually be watching TV. I don't know. Both of us needed a little bit of a downtime tonight, so we're at home. It is cold, and just hanging out. I have gotten a few things in the mail that I wanted to show y'all. This is not a gift and goodies. I'm not very good at gift and goodies, but Lester opened a package that ended up being for me, and I want to share that with you as I open it. I will show you here. Oh, because what he's doing is putting it all in my office when I'm not here, and now my office is like, it's kind of it needs an overhaul. I'll just say that. So first, it came in this box, okay, and it looked like a poached egg, an egg poacher. I'm like, I've never eaten poached eggs before. I don't even know what I would do with that. Well, it turns out that's not what it is. And I know that because Lester told me. There's a card I have not opened. Carmen, what am I drinking? I am drinking bourbon cream liqueur, salted caramel version this time. And I found it when I was cleaning, and that kind of prompted this whole thing. Oh boy, she writes a long letter. Just a quick note. It's from Mary Dawn, and she found these books at a thrift store and thought of me. And then she sent me some earrings, she says. Let's see here. I'm not very good at gift receiving, but Mary Dawn, thank you for thinking of me and for the lovely letter. I will read all of it, I promise. And oh my gosh, these are fancy, too fancy. We heard you deserve this, is what it says up top. The Pearl Source. Oh, they're beautiful. They're really pretty. I have been trying to find some earrings for next weekend because, you know, the wedding is next weekend. And I say I'm trying to find earrings because I still don't have a dress. I have dresses that I've not tried on yet because I haven't been home and they all got here. So at one point in time, I'm going to try on dresses with y'all. But thank you. I've never heard of the Pearl Source. I want to look that up. But the box is amazing and those earrings are beautiful. Okay. The Tree of Life. Oh, beautiful. Okay. She said books. She didn't say all these gifts. I feel really bad. I'm not good at receiving gifts. I really am not. It's a project. It's a painting project. The Tree of... Okay, so this is what it will be if I do it. Maybe we'll do this on Fridays. Maybe Friday nights we'll go live together and maybe we'll attack some of that. Oh, favorite songs of the good old days. How cool is that? Whose wedding? It is Ellie and Megan's wedding next Sunday. Oh my gosh. I don't know that I'm going to know any of these songs. First of all, the publisher is the House of White Breeches. Never heard of that. White Breeches. I don't know any of these. Sunrise Serenade, Over the Garden Wall. Oh, When You Wish Upon a Star. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. I thought that was a Disney song. I can't get that high. By the Light of the Silvery Moon. Why does that sound? Springtime in the Rockies. Side by Side. Does anybody know these songs? Oh, whoops. Somebody says, I don't think they were announcing when they're getting married. So are you just telling me that I just spilled the guts that they're getting married next weekend? No. Really? Surely. Okay, well, I guess I spilled the guts then. I didn't mean to. Don't tell me that. No. Oh, several people have. Whew. Okay. I mean, it was in writing. Oh, Holy Night. Okay. So these are really cool. This is just vintage songs where we'll never grow old. Thank you for that. That's really cool. All right. There's 2 more books in here, and they smell old. Oh, wait. Oh, the Pearl Source comes with... They're authentic. I feel terrible, but thank you. They're not revealing the location. I have not told the location. Look at this book. Okay. This is exciting. Because it's old. The Home University Bookshelf. Boys and Girls Who Became Famous. Loose Lip Lester did? Okay, good. I'm glad it's not me that told y'all. copywritten in 1938, but originally, oh, wait, this version was, but it was originally written in 1909. 1909. The introduction says, "It's a mistake to think that biography is uninteresting. The life stories of men and women who have done things can be made far more interesting than make-believe tales, and they have the added merit of being true. The picture of the poor farmer boy Abraham Lincoln living in a log cabin and reading by the light of a pine knot is more appealing than the liveliest adventures of some fairy prince." That's pretty dang true. I would rather watch real people than made-up versions. The stories of other boys and girls always enlist the attention of our own children. They picture themselves in the shoes of Michelangelo, the boy sculptor, or of Jenny Lind, the girl who wanted to sing. "What do they do next, Mother?" will be an invariable question. That's really cool. We will have to read these. All right. Lester's going to love this too. You know that he loves a good story and he loves a good book. All right. Next up. These look to be in some sort of series. I love old books, and I also had this dream as a kid that I would have a library in my house, but the library would have the bookcases that go on all the walls, and I would have the ladder that goes along those bookcases. Like when I used to create my Barbie house, because I never had a Barbie house, I had shelves in my room in the dormer, and in there I would create a library with that ladder, but mine was made like a popsicle sticks. And yeah. All right. The Manual of Child Development, Volume 10, in case you wanted to know. Also written in 1909. Oh boy. Okay. So similar to etiquette, this is not storytelling. This is literally like, what's that book that they gave? Well, for me, they gave this book and it was like, whenever you're pregnant, they gave you this book and it was like, oh my gosh, help me. I remember it. It was like a how-to book of everything from your pregnancy to birth and then baby care. Oh my gosh. It like had pastel things around the outsides of it. Help me out. Y'all know it's still today you can buy it. What to expect when you're expecting. Thank you, Nikki. Yes, this is the 1909 version of What to Expect when you're expecting. Okay? Let's find some fun. Oh, it goes all the way up to 12 years old in case you need to know about how to raise your kids. Talks about how to create a conscience. There's chivalry. Okay, this is how you should teach your boy, and you cannot begin too early to be chivalrous. I agree, and I did that. Don't let it be a method of reproach to say to him, for instance, "You cry at everything. You might as well be a little girl." Don't let him hear, if you can help it, girls spoken slightingly of, because they are girls. And above all, don't let your girls always take a back seat while the boys come to the front. How interesting for 1909. Right? It may be good for the girls in one way, but it is bad for them in another, and it is bad in every way for the boys. If girls seem purer and more unselfish than boys, it is only because for centuries they have been trained and expected to be so. We do not want the girls to become less pure and unselfish, but we do want the boys to become more so. A girl is too often trained to give up. A boy is trained to demand. 1909. Boys and girls begin naturally and properly to appreciate the difference of sex at a natural and proper age if they are left to themselves. And the little flirtations which follow are perfectly wholesome, and there is nothing in them that calls for gigglings, these innuendos, and half-veiled allusions. Put your little girls on an absolutely equal footing in every respect with your little boys. Give them every advantage that your boys have, and you will find that Their frequent superiority in many ways will breed in the boys a respect for girls which they will never lose, a respect which will stand them in good stead hereafter. Y'all are hearing this, right? This is 1909. Women didn't have a lot that they have today as far as respect and voice and opinion and rights and all these things. And I'm actually blown away right now by this. I love it. But this is not what I expected to read in that. I actually expected to read something much more opposite. I'm just blown away. Okay. What else we got here? Individuality. This will be interesting. Cultivate individuality in your child. Encourage him to display some interesting peculiarity of speech, manner, or dress that will tend to set him off against the crowd. Observe the faces and forms of many who pass, no two alike, and yet, what is it that makes the distinction in each case? Try to discern this feature in others and attempt to discover what you might best distinguish your boy and girl from the crowd. It's pretty intuitive, actually. If you think about this, I've never read a book like this. So I take it back of my what to expect when you're expecting, because this is legitimately like lost. While I think that we all think we know these things, but to read it here is pretty dang profound and should be put in one of those what to expect when you're expecting books. This book is written by it just says a handbook for parents and teachers, prepared under the supervision of the editorial board of the University Society. I don't know who the University Society is, but I just flipped the page to purpose. You may train your child in the matter of having a definite purpose in his play or in his work. Much of the activity of the growing child is started by impulse and ended in uncertainty. Out of this practice of starting with no clear purpose in view and continuing this forward a very happy end, the shiftless hobo mind has its origin. Make your child explain himself frequently. Challenge him to show you what he is about and why he is doing a certain thing. I guess I'm just like really blown away because it's pretty amazing. All right, you ready for this? The school lunchbox. When the noon meal cannot be taken at home, the problem of a suitable school lunch must be met. If the lunchbox is carried from home, the advantage of warm food is in promoting easy digestion and leaving the mind freer for action in the afternoon is lost. There is also more danger of the food being bolted than in a regular meal at a table with others. Consequently, special care needs to be taken with the foods that are suitable in kind amount and appetizing when the box is open. Option number 1, sandwiches. They form the best staple made of stale bread and filled with finely chopped boiled eggs, well, but mildly seasoned, a nut paste as peanut butter, softened with milk or cream, a dried fruit paste made of chopped dates or figs, and these are all suitable for younger children. Okay? Fruit is also appropriate, which is appetizing and carries well. A sweet, a baked custard, plain cookies, or sponge cake, and milk or fruit juice. That pretty much is all that's allowed in this lunch program. If you're bringing your lunch. How funny is that? It talks about food between meals. It talks about, like, this is a how-to manual of how to raise kids. Not even kidding. Pretty crazy. And then it also goes into diseases of childhood, abscess and colitis, constipation, croup, convulsions, and what to do for them. And keep in mind, spotted fever, scurvy. Scurvy is a disease caused by a lack of certain elements in food. It's kind of crazy. And it talks about the treatment for all of it. When I tell you, this is like a really cool book. I'm so grateful. I can't wait to read more of it. What a neat thing. I love old books, and this one has shocked me the most, to be honest with you. This is actually outdoing my etiquette book from Emily Post. How cool is that? All right. Now, the next thing has come from my mother. Okay? And if you know me, you may know my favorite Christmas movie of all time. You may not. My brothers and I begin reciting and texting back and forth every year before Thanksgiving lines from this movie. Now, before I show you this, I want to know, what is your favorite Christmas movie? Donna, this is not a gift and goodies. The only other thing I'm opening is the thing my mother sent me, and then we're just gonna hang out and talk because I'm not doing this all night. This is not my jam. All right. So tell me what your favorite Christmas movie is, and I'm gonna tell you mine. Mine is Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. My mother sent me the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation Advent Calendar, and I'm pumped because I love this movie. It has been the movie that we've watched over and over and over, and I know every word. So do my brother. So does Xander. And to think that somebody finally created something like this is a big deal. So I'm going to open one day, if I can figure out how to do this without like taking up the whole room here. Okay, there's that. All right. There's the Griswold's beautiful house after the drum roll. There's the Sewer Santa. I'm on the wrong side. Sewer Santa right there. I know you can't see because of the lights. All right. I'm going to open day one. I know that I'm behind, but it's okay. It's fine. Step one is a Griswold stamp, which is adorable. I'm going to put mine back in there because I want to keep this together. We will open one every day. I'll probably do just a little short video to show you, but it comes with this little like whole thing to set up. It's like the movie scene as well. That's really cute. I can't wait. Cannot wait. My brothers and I will go back and forth all year round, really, but we will continually say, "You serious, Clark?" Like, that's just like this normal conversation. And I was mortified the first time I did it to Lester, and he looks at me and goes, "Who's Clark?" Excuse me, what? He's never seen the movie. Never. I don't really know how that doesn't register for me because my favorite movies are Christmas movies. I made a post the other night on Facebook. Christmas on Sesame Street. It's definitely one of my most favorites. That sounds really stupid, but it's true. Of course, I love oh my gosh, the one with Tim Allen. Santa Claus, right? It's called The Santa Claus. And of course, I love Elf and It's a Wonderful Life. What's the one? Hold on, I'm going back to look at yours because I'm struggling to find a name. I've never seen Christmas Chronicles. Don't know what that is. Apparently it has Kurt Russell. Didn't know that. I'll have to try that. Of course, I've seen White Christmas. Love that. Rudolph. Love me some like the claymation Rudolph. Same thing with Frosty, the cartoon, like the original Frosty the Snowman. Big fan. Wait a minute. Die Hard? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Are we sure? Disney Scrooge. Absolutely love that. Polar Express, great. I'm still reading up here a little bit. I've scrolled up at this point in time. But sorry, there's just nothing better than Christmas Vacation. Merry Christmas, Clark. Shitter's full. Like, it's so bad. So bad when Aunt Bethany comes and she wraps up her cat, and oh, it's good stuff. It's a great movie. If you need the Grinch, yes, but the original cartoon Grinch is my favorite by far. Die Hard is a Christmas movie? I don't know about that. Is it? Christmas with the Cranks? I don't know that one. All right. I saw somebody before I asked the Christmas question of, Jamie, are you taking any questions? I'd be happy to answer questions tonight if I know the answers. I'll tell you if I don't know the answers. I didn't know that about Die Hard. Now I have to go watch it. Smoky Mountain Christmas. Yes. Oh my gosh. And Christmas music on the record player. Christmas music on the smart TV. Anytime that I can steal the TV from someone, and like I'm not a sit down and watch TV kind of person. I have to do 50 things at once. Apparently my grandmother and mother's genes just run strong through me in the inability to sit still. For whatever reason, there is a YouTube channel that has put their background as like a fireplace and just has hours and hours of Christmas music. I love that. Like, I love that a lot. Okay. Is Roman getting his feet done? Yes, he is scheduled this next week, pending weather. Why was I grumpy when I got home? Okay. I worked all day. I got up at 5 and sat in meetings for all day. Then I get to the airport and my flight's delayed, which is very normal and fine, but they didn't announce the delay until we were sitting on the plane. So we sat there for an hour before we ever took off. Again, still no big deal at that point in time. I'm fine. I'm healthy. I'm well, and it's okay. When you're on a tarmac on a plane, they have the capability, even though you have cell phone reception, that they have like what I would call a scrambler. I don't know what it really is, but your phone doesn't work. So we sat there for an hour, and I did all of my capable work without any signal. And then we get into the air, and it's supposed to be a just under 2-hour flight. And it was 3.5 because we had to circle because of weather. But during that time, there was also no Wi-Fi on the plane. But when we took off, you can pay for the Wi-Fi as soon as you connect. So I paid my $8 for the Wi-Fi, fine. And then it didn't work the rest of the plane. And the whole plane was complaining about it. And it was just like, it was lack of communication to people. And it was just like, I don't know. It added all up. Then when I got home, bless Lester, bless him. But you know how you get in a routine of doing everything your way at home, and sometimes you want to, like, you left things clean and then you came home to like disarray, and it's just like icing on the cake. I will say that after I landed and went to get my car, then I remembered that I was running late to get to the airport and still had to get gas, and everybody around me just felt like they were so rushed and frustrated, probably because they were all delayed just the same. It wasn't just my flight. Don't get me wrong, very blessed I got here safe and have a job to be able to go to, like all of that. But like all of it just like stacked up, and then I couldn't wait to be home. On the way home, I had to stop and pick up my grocery order. And then when I messaged Lester, I was like, did you eat yet? Because that's the courteous thing to ask as you're passing by all the restaurants. He's like, no. So then I had to stop and get dinner. And then when I got home, the dinner that I ordered for myself wasn't in there, just Lester's. And he offered to share, but I don't like that, whatever he got. So it was just like, you know, one thing after another. And all I wanted to do in that moment was just like, I just let me just rush through everything and get it sort of semi back to normal so that I can clear my mind and be at peace. And then there wasn't enough time. There wasn't enough time. It was horse blankets and double, triple check waters and dog food and just like, all the things. And then it was just a day. It was just I wasn't mad. It was just one of those times where I'm just like, I need to just be in my own element for just a little bit and be able to like have control of like my space. So I did that and I feel better and I got some sleep that night and I'm I'm back to good. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be totally fine. After you're like at the mercy, like work trips are they're work. Don't let anybody that has never experienced them tell you anything different. Like um if you say that it's a vacation for your person that leaves, it is not, because it's like go go go, and then in those times where you're doing that part of your job, the rest of your real job is still waiting for you. So while you go to meetings all day and you're in meetings all day, there's still like 8 more hours of work waiting for you on your computer when you get back to it after you've gone to a company dinner. And then you're also around people that you have to put on a certain persona to be around, and you're seeing people you haven't seen in so long, and they want to interact with you and ask you questions about everything, and you do the same to them because it's the right thing to do. But at the end of those couple of days, you want to just like not talk and decompress. And while I appear to be an extrovert and can absolutely pull that off, I'm an extroverted introvert. And for all the energy that it takes to like put myself out there and to be that social and do all those things, it takes more time to recover alone. And I like just sometimes just want to like stare at the wall or scrub my countertops. Like it just takes a little bit to like unwind from all that or go out to the horse barn, which is what I actually did that night. So it's okay. It'll be fine. And I've been doing this type of work for 22 years now. So it's very normal to me to be able to have that. It's just like the older that I get and the more that I have to take care of at home, the harder it is to leave. And especially during cold weather, especially when knowing that, you know, it takes a lot to be able to handle everything here as one person. And I don't just mean here, I mean the JL North, the JL South, if there's something going on with the kids or any other outside things. And there was all of that Lester had to handle. So I was not upset with him. I don't want it to seem that way. It was just everything all at once is all. But I'm back to good now because I'm hanging out with y'all and I'm having a little sipper of a drink. And I opened a present from my mama and from another lady who sent me some really cool books. And well, I'm good. I got to spend time with my horses the last 2 days. Yeah. What was the question? Somebody said, did you meet? Hold on a second here. Carlene says, just tell Lester to move over and get out of your way. I think he did. I think that he saw my mode of like literally just go, 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 like unpack my suitcase, throw 2 loads of laundry and sweep the floor. Like all of that is like happening after this long travel day. And he can't fathom doing any of that. But for me, that's how I decompress. His decompress is like no touching, no talking, no any like seriously just like zone out in a movie. And that's where he's at. Let's see here. I'm reading comments, but I'm scrolling back down. Am I going to have Roman adjusted by Dr. Lauren? Yes, but not until the next cycle, which won't be probably until January at this point in time, which is okay. Deborah says, why did we change the names to both places? Deborah, so you probably missed that live. We were really struggling with page names versus, ranch names and things like that. And I have always thought of everything as virtual and as it didn't matter where I was, that my videos could play, or I could make videos. I can make videos from a bathroom. Like, it doesn't matter to me, but Lester really struggled with like the naming of the places matching his videos. And we had certain animals that needed to go certain places based on what was best for them. So now we have decided that the JL Ranch is a collection of all of the pages. The Jail Ranch holds I'm a Survivor Sanctuary. The Jail Ranch holds From Suits to Boots, and the Jail Ranch holds Longhorn Lester's at either piece of land. I hope that makes sense. But it was really necessary for us to be able to do so from a business standpoint, but also to be able to just say, for clarifying reasons, and to be able to ensure that we can truly do what's best for the animals. Somebody says Lester thought you were mad at him for Timeout Tuesday. I was never mad at him for Timeout Tuesday. I laughed hysterically at that. I'm scrolling down here. Did I figure out what glass he broke of mine? Yeah, so he broke a stemless wine glass, sadly. Yeah. Are we going to change the sign at Longhorn Lester's? Eventually, but it's not like a major priority today. Chris says she was feeling irritated tonight, so she peeled and cleaned 3 loofah, and she's in Michigan. Claire, you must be freezing up there. I have to peel and clean some gourds because they're really starting to do what they're supposed to do. I told Lester I need to refill the propane for the heaters that are for the shop, because I am going to be spending the next 2 weeks out in that shop doing my Christmas gifts, and some of those are the gourds, but some of those are with the freeze dryer and preserving some things, and it's cold. So I need him to refill those propane just so I can heat it up just a smidge. Let's see here. Do we have plans on riding Roman? Not in the near future, but we've been told that he's been ridden before. I have no idea, to be honest with you. Right now, everything is about make sure that Roman gets comfortable and that he gets his feet taken care of, because they're pretty bad, and that we make sure he's well enough. And then eventually Rita will come over there. Y'all, I have to tell you the sweetest thing about Rita. Last night, Lester stayed at the JL, and I, of course, had to put blankets on the horses. Now, it got to 31 here last night. So in our world, because of how warm it gets during the days, they haven't been able to build up a strong enough winter coat. So 31 for me is I'm going to blanket the horses space as long as they're safe to be blanketed. So what that meant, all the horses here, all 5 were on me, which is fine. But Rita last night was like the sweetest, most docile, gentle. Like, it was the same Rita that I gave baths to every day in the summer while she was at the JL. Like, that level of Rita was who I interacted with last night. And I smiled through it. I embraced it. I put that blanket on her and she felt proud. I didn't even have to halter her. Like, it was like that moment. And she was in the littles pasture. So it wasn't like, it was just so different. It was a different Rita. And last week when I tried to blanket Rita, she was like not on board. Like, she didn't even want me to put the halter on her face. Like, everything was wrong last week. And I felt it, and I was like, I'm going to take a break and like come back to this later, because she just wasn't ready. But last night, I don't know if she missed me from being gone for a few days. I don't know the answer, other than she's not in heat this week. That girl's got some crazy heat. That's what I'll say. But she was so affectionate and patient and communicated with me direct. Like, I have learned that if I'm going to do things with Rita, I can't have a camera and I can't have a lot of distractions that cause her to not focus on working with me. And last night, even though, I mean, I don't usually put blankets on the horses until it's dark. So I let everybody eat, do their thing, and then I'll go back out at 9 or 10 o'clock and get the blankets on because the sun's gone down and they're cold enough to where they welcome it. And I don't know if she truly was cold and that added to it, but she was like, this is a really weird phrase. She was my horse last night. She wanted me to instruct her. She wanted me to love her. She wanted me to talk to her. And I stayed out in that pasture with her for like 30 minutes after I'm gonna cry, after I put that blanket on her. And it was such a different horse. It was such a different experience all around. And it was good. It was really good. And this morning, it was actually too chilly to take their coats off at feed time. But whenever I went in there to feed this morning, she was the same. She was just like special. I can't explain it to you, but like it was really powerful to interact with Rita in the last 24 hours. Now, Lester came home tonight and he put the blanket on her, so I have no idea what his experience was, but she was just like, she was a different Rita today. And it was a really good experience. Like no fears whatsoever of her reaction or anything like that. Like it was just a powerful communication time. And I needed that. And I think she did too. So Rita will make her way over to Roman at the JL Ranch. And I'm excited for that, but also now, I mean, I'm sad for that because this is the family she knows, whether it be from across the driveway or the one that she's in with right now. This is the family she knows. And I don't want her to feel punished. I want her to feel really excited about that. And I think that she will. And I don't think Roman is the type to like be a bully or anything like that. Rita's probably more of the bully. But this sounds really weird. I want to pay attention to her cycle when she goes. I want her to go when she's sweet Rita, not crazy whack job Rita. Let's go right after that cycle. And I haven't talked to Lester about this. Let's go right after that cycle when she's in a good place. So that way when her hormones are like doing this, that he's gotten to know her in the good place and just like, it's kind of like dating, right? It's like, this is terrible. You don't want to show them you're crazy until they like you enough on the good side, because if you come out swinging with your crazy, they're going to think that that's your ground zero, because most of the time you put on your best self when you meet somebody new. So I want to start small. You cannot spay a horse. You only fix the males, and we have no intact males. Now, people are talking about Sully as well. Sully belongs to Jake Morrow, and Sully is at the JL Ranch right now. We are cow sitting until he goes to we're the halfway house for Sully. So Sully is going to a new home very soon as well. Roman is scared of thunder, but I'm hopeful that Roman's fears are because he's not with the herd. I will say this, Storm alone is a much spookier horse than she is with the herd. When she has her herd and watches their reactions, it's okay. Now, Rita is not spooked by sound at all. Rita is actually not scared of anything, which makes Rita sometimes challenging in that aspect. So, I think it's going to be good. Grandpa next door at the JL North is a stallion. But Lester has rebuilt fences. He has one more to do. That also must happen before Rita ever steps foot over there. But the pasture that Rita and Roman are in is the most secure pasture we have. Tall fences with cattle panel plus barbed wire. And then we are putting an electric fence on where the closest side of our fence to where Grandpa and his other two horses sometimes come, so that they just stay off that fence line. And at that point in time, I can't imagine that they would like escape pastures and travel miles to come around to do that. And even then, the other fence is so gigantic. So Rita's been to the JL North before. She loved it. Rita did swim here with Storm the beginning of them being here, but she kind of swayed from that. No horse swims as much as Storm does. Bucky's will get in, but no horse. Like Storm's not swimming now because it's freezing, but even when it was like 70 degrees outside and I thought it was chilly, Storm was still swimming. And Bucky's and Rita definitely stopped long before that. So I kind of think that Roman and Rita are going to be good for each other in ways that we don't even realize yet. I think that Roman will be good for Rita in a calm space. Like his overall being is just delightfully calm. He is easily spooked by some things, but I think that we're seeing stories of Roman's past that we don't know. And it's heightened by the fact that he doesn't have a herd with him today. So we'll see. But I think that Rita's lack of fear will help Roman through some of that as well. And I'm excited for it, but I'm trying to be really patient for this move as well, because we want everybody to be well, number one, and we want to have as little variable as possible. So right now, all the mud that's there and the storms that are coming over the next couple days, obviously not a good time for that. So Prim is doing wonderful. So y'all haven't seen this yet, but so while Prim fits in Dixie's old blanket, she actually fit better in Voodoo's old blanket. So the plaid, the Scottish boy plaid that Lester teased him about for all those years, that big, comfy, looks like a couch material, actually fits Prim better than Dixie's blanket. Dixie's blanket was a little bit snug and a little bit too short. It was I was worried that the straps were going to rub her a little bit. So we upgraded to Voodoo's blanket, which is actually a little bit big. Not terrible big, but it's long. It's not big around her as a I'll call it the barrel. So it fits really well around the barrel. It's just a little bit long for her, so I actually tuck some of it under in the back. But she's been wearing that giant plaid blanket, and all I can think about is all the times that Lester teased Voodoo for that. And she just looks beautiful in it. She looks confident. She looks warm and cozy. I'm able to blanket Prim, Bucky's, and Voodoo with no halter or anything, just out there in the pasture. I can walk up to them with their blanket. Storm gets a little spooked, so I take her and she knows what's coming. She will walk up to me as I'm blanketing everybody else because she wants her turn. And whenever I bring her blanket to her, she just gets a little like she needs a moment. And I have learned that about Storm, that Storm is she just needs to know what's happening and she'll be fine with it, but she needs to know. We're a lot alike. We're just a lot alike. But she and Prim are just doing really well together. And I know that they're mares and they have their moments, but I'm watching them I'm watching them look out for each other, which is really powerful to see the subtleness in that. Now, they still have their moments. Don't get me wrong. They still have their moments, but I'm watching them choose to be next to each other in the stalls. I let my horses go into the barn and into the stalls anytime that they want to. And when I walk out there and I see Storm and Prim across from each other and Voodoo standing in the hallway because he loves to stand on the hay, it makes his feet feel better. Bucky's in a stall and Ivy either next to Voodoo or next to Bucky's. It just kind of brings me joy to know that the girls chose to be next to each other because they could go anywhere they wanted to. So she's doing really well. I have not ridden her again. Number one, the weather's been pretty atrocious. And when the weather hasn't been atrocious, I've been busy. So I would love to get back on Prim and continue that journey. But I told myself that I wanted to take a few lessons that weren't on Prim necessarily, but they look like that they're probably going to be on Prim. I think Courtney and Ashley are coming next week. Originally, my plans were to go up to Courtney's, but with this crazy weather we've had and all the slop and mud, it's just going to depend on whose pasture is the best, basically. And if it's her pasture, then I'll go to her house and I'll ride one of her horses and take some lessons on them. And if not, then I will, keep working here on Prim. What Prim and I are doing mostly right now is grooming. And I have found that I had to really think back about Storm. I love Storm from the second she was here, but I don't think Storm loved me until I started doing really like daily grooming with her. And that could be as simple as picking her feet or brushing her mane or, all the way till this summer when every single day I gave her a bath. And I want to be sure that Prim feels that same type of investment of time in her. She doesn't get a bath every day because it's cold right now, but I am brushing her every day. I'm taking time to do special things with her. And I think it's paying off. I do. So, the donkeys don't get blankets because they have an incredibly thicker coat than horses do. The donkeys are desert animals, so they are both bred for and meant for hot days and cold nights and very little nutrition. Now ours get a lot of nutrition, so they have some extra warmth on them as well. The only horse that loves to be blanketed is Imogene. Beverly will tolerate it, but that's only if Imogene has it, or back in the day if Dixie had it on. Dan will not, and Ivy will not. So kind of bummed about that. What else y'all want to know? I've been talking for over an hour. This is ridiculous. I told Lester, I was like, I'm going to go live for just a few minutes. I think he just left me. I think he just got in the truck and left. I have no idea where he's going. Maybe he sent me a text. Hold on. Let's check. No, he did not. Nothing. I have no idea. Maybe he's sick of hearing me ramble. He didn't go get milk. Now my mind is racing. He didn't go get milk because I picked up milk in my grocery order last night. The gate was closed, so he didn't leave to go close the gate. All the horses have blankets on already. There's cream horns here, so that will be his late night snack. I'm baffled as to where he could have went. I don't know. He's live at the JL North. That would be something. That would be something crazy. Let's see here. He's back. Do you hear the dogs? He might be back. Babe? Yeah. Did you leave? I told you he left. He went to go get his package. I'm on live. Do you want to join me? Maybe. If these are my shirts. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm bringing the camera out. I'm bringing the camera out. Do you have pants on? Hold on. You get to see an angle of my office that you don't normally see. See, it when you walk in, it looks clean, okay? Doesn't look so bad. But when you look behind me, it looks a little bit cluttered, and we have to fix that. Do you have pants on? Still a mystery. You want to see my knick-knack shelf up close instead of behind it? Oh, there's a picture of my grandparents before they got married. here's all the tiny little things that Jalen and I trade off and other things that y'all have sent. Stuff for Dixie and Sookie. What you got? I'm coming out there.
This is the new Longhorn
Oh,
Lester.
snap. Look at how handsome. Oh, boy. I'm dropping the computer.
Longhorn Lester. And then on the sleeve.
That looks good.
You like it like that?
Yeah.
So it's you're not mirrored.
I don't know how to do that.
Everything's opposite.
Oh, that bothers you?
Well, yeah, because I want to touch the emblem, but it's on this side. It's not mirrored. And I got my, hold on, I'll show you my one too.
I'll come out here if you want me to.
Okay. Turn some lights on right there.
Look at you all, like in romantic lighting out here.
I'm watching TV. These are my Longhorn Lester shirts. I got 10 of those.
But y'all are getting the full meal deal here on Friday night.
For your beautiful wife, what did she do?
A coolie cup.
That's for you.
Sweet.
And those are all the Longhorn. Oh, no, it must be this here.
Aww.
Oh, she made that for you. That's cute.
Oh, wait. It is hard to do backwards. Hold on.
It's, yeah, when it's not mirrored, it's hard. And here are.
This is awesome. How cute is that?
Let me
I did it again.
Scoot over a little bit. I'm going to slip on this other one.
I can't. Okay. I can't look at myself in the mirror and do that. Better. There we go. Can you read it right? That's cute. Really cute. And it's pink. Winning. Totally winning. What's her name? Jammies and Jelly Beans. I don't know her first name. I feel terrible. Lester did all kinds of communication.
Tracy's Daniel's shirt lady.
Tracy.
And then here's the I'm a Survivor one.
I love it.
And then, so we let the logo off because it's so big.
Yeah.
So now I have me 20 shirts, 10 and 10. So you will never, ever see me ever again. And look, she did this over here for free.
I love that.
Because she can also do little koozies. That's pretty awesome. So, thank you, Miss Tracy.
Do you want me to grab the light and you want to sit down and talk?
Oh.
Or
okay.
no? You don't want to?
Sure. What are we talking about?
I don't know. It's Friday night and we're just rambling away.
You're rambling away on a Friday night. Do you people have no life? Oh, babe, I'm already out of the bath and I'm like still hot. My face is very red. So you're rambling away with, babe, you have a very large audience for a Friday night. What's my problem? How come I can't get an audience?
That better?
That's, well, hi to hello. I don't think you're going to lose your numbers fast if you don't hurry back. Babe.
You won't be sad.
That's pretty good. So,
over.
yes, the sweet lady's name is Tracy, I believe.
I didn't know there's another chair there.
I hope, I may have her name wrong.
It says Jamie's and Jelly Beans.
I'm going to have to go to my phone book and try to find. Dang it. I'm so embarrassed that
I was telling on you that you were probably out here watching TV and like defragging. And I was talking about how when I came home the other night that I was in a bad mood and that it wasn't you, it was just everything. And
well, I had to be the recipient of all that everything. That was not fair.
But this morning I was a recipient of your everything.
All I said was I feel like I'm being a Jamie today because of anything more than just there was so much going on.
And that's all it was for me the other night too, is just so much going on and like and it just piled up and like I just needed to be able to like pull it all together and reset really quick and sleep helped. And for you sometimes it's eating. Like it's like
eating?
Yeah, you get like when your stress levels are high and it's been all day because you don't eat when you're stressed, sometimes it's like you need to eat to be able to like reset. I need to clean to reset. No? No, you don't feel that way?
I mean, I don't know. That makes me feel embarrassed that you think that I go to the fridge when I want to.
I don't think that you.
When I'm
I think that
stressed,
you
I
don't.
stop eating.
I think that you don't eat is what I'm saying. So then I need to like. I know that something that will cool you off.
Jackie. Did I say Tracy? I meant Jackie. Her name is Jackie.
No, you don't eat when you're stressed, but your body then like makes you hangrier later. Is what I was getting at. That's all. Anyway, stress, comes out in all forms and fashions. Tell her thank you for the hat.
Jamie says, thank you for the knitted cap, comma. It's awesome. We're on live right now talking about you and how amazing you are.
Amy says Lester's quiet tonight.
No, well, you caught me unprepared. I wasn't
so
ready
sorry.
for. I'm
so
sitting
sorry.
there. Look behind you. I'm sitting there watching a movie.
I told you that he was watching a movie.
I get a text that says I've already taken my sleeping concoction.
You did?
Yeah, and I get a text that says your package should have came today, and I'm like, oh my god, if it's down by the road, someone may take off with it. So I jump in the truck, drive down.
I told you that. I told him I was like, Lester just left. And I was
jumped
like,
in the truck, drove down real fast, got the package, and then you're wanting to come out and all this kind of stuff, and I've been caught off guard.
I'm sorry. At least you had pants on.
Why? Why?
You don't know the phrase if you got caught with your pants down?
Oh, okay. Anywho, I'm going to leave you to hang out with your friends, and
I'm going to wrap it up too because
how could you go for over an hour on a Friday night?
I don't know. We just got to talking and chatting.
Okay.
We were talking a little bit about your Timeout Tuesday event.
Oh, okay. That was fun.
It was fun.
That's one thing I forgot to mention this morning when I was talking about how stressful my week was. That was added a lot of stress. It took a lot of drive time to get there. And then every time you try to plan something with other people, planning with one person is not so bad, but the more people you add to it, the more you have to plan and the harder it is. And trying to plan something with multiple people. Oh, in saying so, we're trying to plan something fun for LE, like a little, not a bachelor party, because Ellie is not a drinker. He doesn't want to party, but something fun. So I send out a text to everybody, but there's probably 20 people that I invited, friends and family of LE. And I swear, trying to get everybody to find a time, it's so darn hard. Oh, I can do it this day, but not that day. Oh, I can do it that time, but not that time. And I'm like,
yeah, it adds a lot
at this
of stress.
point, I'm like, show up or don't. But the problem is you have to kind of plan like with a deposit of if you're going to reserve a room, if you're going to have food. And it is so very difficult. So yeah, I feel a lot like you today with all of the stress and stuff going on.
I'm sorry, babe. I didn't mean to add to it.
Okay.
I honestly have been over an hour hanging out and still need to take a bath and clean myself up. And we have to go live in first thing in the morning.
Coffee.
For coffee.
We don't miss coffee.
And I'm at the point where I'm like, well, I'm pretty much not going to have a lot to talk about. So I hope that you can bring all kinds of topics.
I know what I'll be wearing, my new shirts, because I have a lot of them. I got 10 that say I'm a Survivor Sanctuary. And then I have 10 that say Longhorn Lesters. But let's not forget, that's not where we're at. We're at the JL
We talked
Ranch
a little about that.
South or the JL Ranch North. We have to start trying to remember that.
I did really good tonight. I never said anything other than North or South.
There we go. And if we use it enough, it will catch on.
Yeah.
But, just like with everything else, there are people who are being resistant. I love you so much, people. I love you so much.
No, not my people. They're your people that are resistant. My people are like, yes. Okay,
well, that's good to hear. No, but no, there are some who just resist anything you want to do, but we have a good reason for doing it. So, all right. Well, I'm going to walk away while you tell your goodbyes to everybody.
All right,
my friends. Thank y'all.
Thanks for joining me for a minute.
You're welcome. That was fun.
Y'all, thanks for hanging out with me on Friday. I am going to run a tub and I'm not bringing you with me on that journey. Sorry, that is a solo time and we haven't been dating long enough for that. Sorry. I will see you tomorrow morning. I don't know what we'll talk about, but maybe things will happen between now and then I'll come up with all kinds of things. Either way, I love y'all. And I'm really so blessed that you take the time to hang out with me and, just to be a part of our lives, my life, and putting up with all of the random things that happen around here and having patience. I hope you all sleep well, and I will join you tomorrow morning for coffee. Hopefully, you'll join us. Good night, y'all.